Hi, do you want to know how you can improve your English pronunciation skills without needing to talk to a native English speaker? Yes, that's definitely possible. And here are 5 tips to help you do just that. Tip number 1. The tip number 1 is to improve your listening skills first. Right? So you can do this by watching a film or a TV series from the US or UK. My favorites are actually How I Met Your Mother or Suits. So these are the two series that I recommend for you to watch. You can also listen to audiobooks or podcasts about topics that interests you in English. Listening to music can also help a lot. Yes, if you're a music, if you're also into music, like me, um, but yeah, music doesn't like me that much. So what you want to do is notice the intonation and the diction that people use whenever they say the words in English. You can also pay attention to how they open their mouths when they speak. Right? The goal is for you to be familiar with the sounds they produce. And then you can go further by doing what is called shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a short sentence or phrase and then repeating it afterwards, trying to imitate the sounds, intonation, and the word stress, and noticing how your mouth and tongue move when you speak, right? So, tip number 2 is record yourself. Once you have practiced shadowing, you could record yourself speaking, either repeating a short phrase that you have listened to or doing a longer speaking task using a question prompt. So in Toastmasters, we have what's called a table topics. So in a table topics session, we're given a thought-provoking prompt or a question, and you need to deliver 1 to 2 minutes of impromptu speech about that topic. So what you can do is record yourself while answering a question prompt or a simple prompt from the internet. So I know it can be nerve wracking, but that's okay because you'll be the only one who's going to listen to that anyway. Right? So I remember Louis Litt from the TV series Suits, if you're familiar with that. So he's one of the attorneys or lawyers in that series. So Lewis actually uses a voice recorder as his diary, or he also uses it to remind himself of the things that he need to do for the next day or for the upcoming days. So yes, I would encourage you to record yourself whenever you speak. Okay, listen. So as you record yourself, listen back and make a note of any sounds that you're having problems with. Practice these words or sounds slowly and then record yourself again. Over time, doing this consistently will help you improve. Here's tip number 3. Get to know the phonetic chart. You can simply Google the International Phonetic Alphabet. It's a visual representation of different sounds. So there's what they call the schwa sounds, and then how and all of those other sounds are pronounced. So at first it may look like an alien writing, or it may feel like you're learning a different type of language again or starting from scratch, but it's actually a tool that can definitely help you improve your pronunciation. All dictionaries have a phonetic transcription of words so that you know how to pronounce them. And knowing the IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabet, can really help you. So you can also search for the poem called or entitled The Chaos. So The Chaos, it's a, a bit of a long poem, but you'll see and hear how the English spelling doesn't always correspond with its pronunciation. So, for example, there's uh, though, true, tough, and then ought. So all of those words actually use OUGH, right? But OUGH is different, is pronounced differently in all of those four words. Okay? So that's tip number 3. And tip number 4 is use a dictionary. Okay, so just like how printed dictionaries give you a phonetic transcription of a word, there are also a ton of online dictionaries where you can listen to the word being spoken. Whenever I encounter a new word, I would always go to Google and look up how it's pronounced. So I remember one day in Toastmasters we have a word of the day, which is a plum. So I thought it's actually pronounced as a plumb, but then I just went to Google and then type the word and type define a plumb. So that's what I type in Google. And then I also click the speaker icon. You can, because when you define a word in Google, there will be a speaker icon next to it, and also next to the phonetic transcription, and you can listen to how it's pronounced. And that's it. You just listen to it once, twice, or even thrice, and then also repeat it a lot of times. So yeah, that's how I figured out how a plum is pronounced. So here's tip number 5. Tip number 5 is practice, practice, practice. Yes, practice a lot. Different languages have different sounds, and our mouths actually adapt to these sounds. Some sounds are very difficult for us to make as they don't exist in our native language. So it's just like when you're learning a new sport or dance move, it's important that you train your mouth to know how to form new sounds. So the more you practice, the easier it gets. All right, so let me just quickly summarize those 5 tips for you. So, to improve your pronunciation, the first thing you need to do is improve your listening skills first. The second thing you need to do is record yourself. The third thing is to get to know the International Phonetic Alphabet. The fourth thing is to use an online dictionary. And the fifth tip is to practice, 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 because we're all lifelong learners here. All right, so I hope that helps you with your English pronunciation, and let me know in the comments if that helps. See you in the next video.